Welcome back to Boss Guys Reviews. In this video, we'll be taking a look at something I think is very important. Is the G.I. Joe classified Haslab Hisstank electronics. So join me in this video as we take an in-depth look at the different types of lighting, LED effects that the Hisstank has to offer. So the three areas of the LED's effect is going to be the cargo area inside the back of the Hisstank. We're going to be taking a look at the cockpit, and then obviously the front of the Hisstank, what it has to offer. So let's get started. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you the initial front of the Hisstank with the light on, and I'll turn the light off so we can get a nice idea how well it illuminates. So the front of the Hisstank has 8 sequences. So first up, there's a button here under the bottom. So if you push it, we'll have our very first sequence. And you notice on the very first press, you do get the initial light up of the cockpit. We see that the panel in the front did blink a few blinks. And then here on the front, we have the red LEDs. We have the headlights, the center light, and then we have the, what I'm going to go ahead and just call fog lights. And it would be really cool. See how this is made? It would be cool if we just had like a throwback to the 80s where this thing just like did a Knight Rider light up. It's just like repeated the role right there. That'd be an amazing little extra touch. I thought it would have been pretty cool. So the very first sequence here, this is what we get inside the tank. All that beautiful light up display inside there. Very cool. Now it pretty much stays lit up until it shuts off. You do notice nothing in the cargo area lights up at all, and we'll get to that section here very shortly. But just so you guys know, here in the future and the other sequences, until it shuts off, that is going to be the it for the cockpit at least. All right, for sequence 2. We do have the illumination of the Cobra insignia on the floor, but you can see right there how that looks. And we'll do, like I said, we'll see it in the dark here just in a second. I'll go ahead and throw this plate down so we can see how that looks. Pretty decent. That's how that comes across, which is pretty cool. So when it's projected onto the ground, as you're looking at the Hisstank, you can definitely see the Cobra insignia, which is pretty awesome. So the third sequence, what happens when you push the button, it goes what I'm going to call the high beams of the Hisstank in a more of a clear light up, traditional light, incandescent looking light. You see the main lights and then the fog lights that we're going to call. So then on next one, which is what, the fourth one, we get a little brighter here on the overall light system. And then the Cobra insignia still stays on. At this point, the fifth sequence, we lose the Cobra insignia is now gone. So that is off. And then there's a sixth one. We go what we call like maybe it dims down the headlights, so like just your normal headlights without having like high beams on, for example. And here on the seventh one, I believe it just goes into what I call like more of a night or an incandescent infrared is what I'm going for here. Infrared look. His no Cobra insignia lit up, and then the eighth one brings back the overall insignia, and it remains all red, which is pretty cool. And then the last one obviously shuts down the Hisstank. Alright guys, so here we are. We've gone dark. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sequences in the pitch darkness. if I can find the button. So there's that part. You see that the cockpit lights up along with the headlights as we're used to seeing. You take a look at the cockpit in the darkness. This is pretty cool. How that's all beautifully lit up. Very, very nice. That's incredible. And then we come back around. We can see the headlights. Looks awesome. Alright, so we can run through these one more time. There's the insignia on the ground. Looking killer. Looks very, very cool. So we're going to push this again. And this is how bright those lights are. Pretty crazy. That's pretty awesome. And then we're going to go with the extra fog lights that we're going to call them. Pretty insane. Okay, that takes away the initial Cobra insignia. And then we're going to go to dimmer headlights. And then we're going infrared. And then that brings back the Cobra insignia. And we stay in infrared mode. Like I said, that Knight Rider theme in this particular position would have been fantastic to watch that, to go back and forth like that. And then we go dark. Look out, Joe's. There's a snake in the darkness. Alright, so here we are. We're going to take a look at the rear of the Hisstank and see what it has to offer. So the door here, obviously we have this tow hitch. You need to make sure that it's up, which it is. So this is going to be for SMS whenever we get to, it's not even up for pre-order yet, but it's up. And then you got to push up this centerpiece, pull down the door. And when you do that, to set a kind of momentary switch, and you bring it down, the light comes on. Now, what's interesting to know about this is the button in the front has nothing to do with the illumination of the interior of the cargo area, because if you push that button, it never comes on as long as that door is open. It's on, but if it's closed, the lights don't come on at all unless the door is open. So that suggests that there's a momentary switch here when you close the door, like that. And that's what that looks like inside. And we'll go ahead and turn off the lights so you can see what that looks like. Here we are back in the darkness looking for the snake. Here's where we need some Night Force members. Here we go. Pulling down the door. And that's what that looks like in the darkness, all lit up inside. It's pretty amazing. The weapons rack, the seat. And there's our LEDs there at the top of the roof. Looks pretty awesome. Now the Hisstank has some tail lights. What's very interesting about this is it doesn't come on initially. It don't come on until you push the button 3 times, which is like the 3rd sequence. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then it should come on. I'm pushing the right button. There we go. And that is the back of the Hisstank lights in the darkness. Looks pretty amazing. Give you guys another perspective of that cockpit in the darkness. Going down the rabbit hole. Nice and red. Cockpit. Looking beautiful. Can you imagine what the Dragonfly is going to look like? Wow. And just insane. And here is the rear of the Hisstank with lights on. You can see the tail lights. Those LEDs are nice and bright. There's some Cobra insignias there and the clear plastic, but the They kind of don't project anything, so, but they are quite bright, as you can see. And this just shut that off. You continue going through the sequences until you get to the off position. And you can see that they do go off by themselves, but then the cargo area stays lit up until you shut this door. That's pretty awesome. Alright guys, so there's a look at all the cool LEDs and lights that our G.I. Joe classified Haslab Hisstank has to offer. Pretty amazing in my opinion. I can't believe how well it came out. Absolutely just stunning. Pretty cool. The cockpit is definitely the focal point of this entire collection. Looks amazing. Let me know what you guys think. And while we continue our look at all the great features that the G.I. Joe Classified Haslab Hisstank has to offer, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And we'll see you in our next review.